it's very hard to measure. You obviously can see it's literally brain damage as such, the rattling of the brain within the skull when you have a big hit like that. And the only way to get over it is to rest correctly and get the correct treatments. I know there's some very, very good treatments available to anyone who suffers from concussion, the long-term damage that it can cause. So very, very important to take it seriously and get thoroughly checked out, and the very best treatment to come back and hopefully kind of limit those long-term problems that can be caused from concussion. So very important. It was the Tour of Flanders. It was that horrendous crash that involved his teammate Girmay as well, which took him out for so long. I think it was it down
the crash? It was the crash
New Clermont.
Yeah.
Very high speed.
Yeah. Hey, talking of high speed, Natnael Tesfazion, I think, is in really good form. He did loads of work yesterday in the Flanders Championships on the front, and here he is going off the front, the Eritrean road race champion, 25 years of age. He's been a really useful workhorse in a way that I wouldn't necessarily have expected for Lidl Trek this year. He's done hundreds of hours on the front for that team, working for the likes of Mads Pedersen and others. He looks over his shoulder to see if he's got any company. He hasn't. This is a good ride already.
It certainly is. We saw him trying to rip it up in the crosswinds yesterday, and now he's ripping it up on these short, punchy climbs. So very, very versatile rider, and great to see.
Yeah, well, part of a core of fantastic Eritrean riders coming through, including, of course, Girmay, who's in this race, but not just those two. Cycling, road cycling in particular, is massive in Eritrea. He's yet another of those youngsters coming through, 25 years of age.
Look like
perhaps they're hanging on. They're hanging on here, aren't they?
They certainly are. Perhaps a bit of a slowing down in the peloton on that climb, because it looked like one Astana rider coming across to Tesfazion, and then quite a gap behind. So interesting to see what's happening in the peloton right now. There was obviously that mad kind of 10-15 kilometers of almost constant attacks, whether things have just calmed down ever so slightly, everyone's gathering themselves perhaps for the next 3/4 of a circuit. Moskestrat coming at 35.5 kilometers, so a small break, but he's coming across that gap very, very quickly.
He is. I love that jersey, by the way, that Eritrean national champions jersey. It's a smart. It goes quite well with the Lidl Trek multicolours as well, doesn't it? It's almost like the perfect nation to have won that. Very smart. It's one of those. Every now and again I see a jersey, I think, oh, I wouldn't mind getting a replica of that. Actually, looks really cool. Don't know when I'd wear it, but I like it. There we go. It does look like he's going to get across the gap, but as you've said, Ian, what is going on behind? What has it teased out back there? Let's have a look. Well, it's pointy, that's for sure. Who's at the head of that point as we look down? Well, as we've seen so far, it's a right mix as well. No one team yet showing intent to really grab this by the bull's horns, except for, now as I say that, should our quick step with Julian Alaphilippe at the back of that little string of riders. So, Ian, Alaphilippe is definitely going to attack on the Moskestrat, isn't he? You just know it. He's ready. He just looks so twitchy. Of course he's going to do that.
I would be very, very surprised if that man doesn't go on the attack on that next climb.
And we love it. Those of you who were watching the Tour of Britain just a couple of weeks ago now, he did that on every stage. In fact, he and Remco Evenepoel, they were both obviously both in the same team in the same race, and they were both attacking like that, left, right, and centre. And Alaphilippe was premium Alaphilippe as well, on the drops, you know, rocking and rolling everywhere. It was Alaphilippe at his kind of sparkling, fizzing best. It was brilliant. Watch out for that in the next 15 kilometres. I'm pretty certain it's going to happen. He's not across yet, though. And now it's starting to get a little bit harder. There's a bit of a risk, I guess, that he gets on, if he does get on, just before they get to the next climb.
Aujourd'hui sera ta dernière course en Belgique sous le maillot de Soudal Quickstep. À quel point as-tu envie de te montrer?
Ouais, c'est chaque course est spéciale maintenant jusqu'à la dernière. Et en Belgique, ouais,
Well, every race is special now, this time of year. Yeah, we've got a good team here today. Very attacking team. We're really motivated up for this race.
Aujourd'hui est également le dernier test de course avant les championnats du monde.
And this is your last race before the World Championships?
Ouais, c'est aujourd'hui la dernière journée importante, je pense.
Today's the last hard day, really, I think, before the World Championships.
Super motivé pour aujourd'hui, la semaine prochaine.
Give it everything. I'm really up for today.
Mais pas trop de fatigue à
and then
cause
those last
du
races in
décalage
Italy
horaire après
after the World Champs.
J'ai bien récupéré.
Quelle course attends-tu aujourd'hui?
Une course
Just
difficile.
saying it's recovered well from recent racing.
On va faire le maximum pour que ce soit une course dure et ouais, on va voir.
Merci.
Yeah, I want to go hard and I want to have a hard race. Perfect timing for that interview, really, Ian, isn't it? Because we know that's what's going to happen. It is definitely going to happen. Whether it'll stick, I don't know. I mark, in terms of like premium Alaphilippe in World Championship winning form, I'd give him about 7.5 out of 10 at the moment, maybe an 8. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We
Coming
will
back
see.
into form with that
Definitely.
third at Montreal, but
yeah,
certainly not back to the double world champion Alaphilippe that we saw so dominant, winning one of those titles in Belgium. So obviously enjoys racing in Belgium, and it's going to be a joy to watch him go on the attack in the next 15 kilometres or so, hopefully.
Yes, that second world title, of course, was very much on these roads. The Leuven World Championship, those Belgian, this Flandrian World Championships. Seems like a long time ago now, Ian, doesn't it? These things roll on very, very quickly, and we're rounding on in getting towards the next Super Worlds as well, which will be in France on the edge of the French Alps as well, in the Haute-Savoie. Do you know what, Ian? There's me talking about gravel, the gravel worlds in 2 weeks' time. I don't think that, so the gravel World Championships weren't part of the first Super Worlds in Scotland last year in Glasgow. Do you think they should be? I think you know what I think, but do you think they should chuck the gravel worlds in with the road, track, mountain bike, park, urban? What else have I missed? Hey, Ian, chuck cyclocross in there, the Super Worlds. Run it a bit later in the year. Have the cyclocross World Championships at the beginning of the season, along with the Super Worlds. How about that with the gravel? I've asked about 10 questions. What do you reckon?
First question, I think the gravel World Championships should be part of that Super World Championships. If that's what they're going to do and try and have as many World Championships together as possible, then I think that's a great idea. I mean, you're not the first person to perhaps discuss moving the Cyclocross World Championships to earlier in the year. It would allow the riders that do a big road program to just continue a little bit longer and compete for those World Championships. The only issue you might end up with is road riders coming in, racing the World Championships, potentially winning, and then that being their season done.
What's the problem with that? Oh, I see. Sorry, I see what you mean. They come in, win the World Champs jersey, and then never wear it again.
Yeah, which would be
no, we don't need
disappointing for the sport.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's hold off on that one just yet.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of it like that. It's a good point. It's a very good point. And you could also, if you get the right mix of courses for a Super World, you could get someone winning the World Road Race Champs, and then they win the Cyclocross Champs as well, and then they win the Gravel Champs. I mean, that sounds ridiculous, but someone like Van der Poel, if he got it right, could do that, couldn't he? Win the road, the Cyclocross, and the Gravel all in the space of a week.
I mean,
are
we not talking about Pauline around Prabhupada?
Yes, we are, yeah. Jasper Phillips.
Ja, we gaan ons best doen, maar daar opnieuw.
Is het EK doorgespoeld?
Ja, dat was wel een teleurstelling, maar ja, natuurlijk is verder. We hebben deze periode gewerkt en de conditie was goed, dus ik ben normaal gezien ook mijn benen wel terug moeten vinden.
De Super 8 Classic vandaag. Een zware wedstrijd, pittige wedstrijd, mooi deelnemersveld. Wat verwacht je ervan?
Ja, ik verwacht wel een iets zwaardere, agressievere koers. En niet heel veel ploegen met veel snelle jongens. Dus ik verwacht wel een aanvallende koers. Ja, wat er altijd wel mogelijk is in deze wedstrijd.
Hoop jij op een sprint? Ja, wellicht wel. Maar jij kan het eigenlijk ook wel eens proberen in de heuvelzone. Of zit dat er niet meer in op het einde van het seizoen?
Het zal een beetje afwachten zijn hoe dat de benen aanvoelen. Maar ja, het is een mooi parcours. Het zijn lastige hellingen, maar natuurlijk ook niet ja, de zotste hellingen. Dus het kan wel verschil gemaakt worden en kan wel gekoest worden.
Het is altijd toch wel een beetje spannend, hè? Wat gaat het zijn? Gaan de vluchters wegrijden en wegblijven? Of gaan de sprintersploegen zoals Alpes in de Koning het proberen controleren? Dat is eigenlijk het spel vandaag. Hè?
Ja, klopt. Het is wel ja, een mooie spannende wedstrijd. Het is zeker geen duidelijk scenario dat er voorhanden ligt, maar ja, dat maakt het ook wel mooi.
Thank you.